Louisiana, Mississippi. Rain and parts of
Next project with 11% off everything. Make over your kitchen with American Standard. The Northport pull-down kitchen faucet comes in a modern matte black finish and a timeless stainless steel finish to match any style. All kitchen faucets are 11% off. Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Good through September 6th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards. Oh, there's something so real about living local, and I know without a doubt I'm not alone. And I'm loving living local. There's nowhere else I'd rather be. Said I'm loving living local. WTRF is working for me. The Ohio Valley is where I love to be.
Are you traveling? Working a little bit too much? Is your fur baby starting to get a little shaggy? Let Dirty Paws be your one-stop shop for all of your pet care needs. Stop in and see us at 202 18th Street or give us a call at 304-639-7754 to schedule your appointments for dog grooming, doggy daycare, and dog boarding today.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the watchdog trusts.
Hello, everyone. It's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is, fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. I'm a private real estate investor who can solve your real estate problems fast for cash. Do you want to sell and just be done with it? Okay, great. I buy vacant properties, boarded up houses, pre-foreclosures, and inherited properties. I also buy apartment buildings, rental portfolios, divorce homes. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. I look forward to solving your real estate problems today. Call me today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm the Storm Tracker, Darnell Foster, with a look at your local weather forecast for your Friday. Partly sunny skies, a daytime high of 76 degrees, back to about 53 for the overnight. Under partly cloudy skies, clouds and sunshine for your Saturday, with highs in the low to mid-70s. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
It's Labor Day weekend.
Weekend plans?
Nude grilling, hot tubs, hippie houseboats.
You know, because it's Labor Day weekend and everything.
Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, in the summer.
Happy Labor Day, Hunter. It's showtime.
Celebrating the 100 days of summer, this is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
$53 degrees, Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. 54 degrees here at my home studios in the Elm Grove section of Wheeling. 54 at the Robinson Auto Group Studios, downtown Wheeling, in the heart of the Ohio Valley. A little bit of fog still floating around. When the fog burns off, it's going to be a nice day. Sunny, comfortable, pleasant day. Predicted high 73. That sounds like a pretty good temperature for me. 72 is my Goldilocks temperature, so I'm in for that. A little bit warmer tomorrow, 77 for the high. Going to be, again, mostly sunny. Maybe a few clouds in there, maybe some late evening showers tomorrow. Looking ahead all the way to Labor Day, Monday. Partly cloud, well, mostly sunny, but some clouds may roll in again. Should be an okay Labor Day as well. A high 78 and mostly sunny. Again, some clouds on Monday, but Labor Day should be a good day for grilling, which is, according to the latest survey that I have here in my hot little hands, the number one thing we like to do on Labor Day. What's the number one favorite thing on Labor Day? It's grilling out. Number two in this survey is kind of, I don't think of this as a Labor Day thing, Biffy. The number two thing we like to do is watch movies. That's not really a Labor Day thing to me.
No, I wouldn't think so, but I don't know. I just said whatever sporting event, or if there's anything on that has to do with sports, I just said that.
Yeah, I guess I say back in the day, by that I mean pre-pandemic. I guess Labor Day weekend was a big new movie weekend at the theaters. Back when we were really all going to, not me, but in general, people were going to the theaters more often. And I guess they did have a lot of Labor Day release. A lot of big movies came out. So maybe people do go to the theaters. But are the theaters even open? I've asked this rhetorically before. I don't even know. Are the theaters open?
I don't even know. I mean, I would imagine they are, but I don't know.
Yeah, I guess they are. You're right. I guess when I think about them, they probably are. But I don't hear anybody. I hear nobody talking about going to the movies anymore. Now, watching movies on Netflix or on Hulu or on some of those things, yes, but not going to the movies. And of course, we've talked about it before. A couple of the major movie producers are now releasing their movies in the theaters and on streaming at the same time. So you can either go to the theaters and watch it, or just watch HBO Max or Hulu, and the movie is there anyway. Personally, being a be-at-home kind of guy, I prefer to watch it at home anyway. Unless it's going to be some movie that's super special effects, Biffy, where the big wide screen is important. But heck, we've got big screens at home anymore. It used to be the difference was the big screen at the theater, the little TV screen at home, but we'd have big screens at home too.
Yeah, some of the TVs, you wonder if they actually are movie screens.
Exactly right. I mean, some of them are the size of movie screens anymore. The most popular thing, so the number one activity for Labor Day is grilling. The most popular things we grill are obviously what, Biffy? What are the number one and two things that we grill on Labor Day?
Hamburgers and hot dogs.
Ding, 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 ding. That's it. Number three comes chicken. Okay. We haven't grilled chicken for a long time. That's not a bad idea. Steak and ribs also in the list of the top five things. Some folks do fish, not on the list here. So remember, we talked last hour about a story that's been around for a couple of weeks. Hot dogs. Eating a hot dog takes 36 minutes off your life. Eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich adds 30. You better do them both. do them both. Let's see. This is interesting. Labor Day weekend is one of the most dangerous days to be on the road. More accidents on Labor Day weekend than any other day on the road. And number two, I'm sorry, excuse me. Labor Day is second. Number one is Memorial Day.
Well, if not Memorial Day, I would have said the 4th of July.
Yeah. According to this, Memorial Day is first, Labor Day is second. Doesn't tell me third, so probably 4th of July. I don't know. And it's just because people are out on the roads, and unfortunately, a lot of them are also maybe partying with their favorite Bud Light a little bit too much. I don't know. Anyways, Labor Day weekend, one of the two most dangerous days on the road. If you're on the road this year, gas is more expensive, although we're still not close to the highest ever. Current national average of gas, $3.18 a gallon. I don't know what it is around here. I guess I should go to Gas Buddy and look that up. I did see $3.18 at one of the stations here in Elm Grove, so that's probably about right. National average, $3.18 a gallon. The highest ever gallon of gas was back in 2008. We were over $4. I mean, I remember that quite well. The average price of a gallon of gas in 2008 for Labor Day weekend, $4.11. Those were scary times. Once we get over 3, it gets I don't really worry too much about watching the price of gas go up from, $1.50, $1.60, $1.70, $1.80. Once it goes over $2, I start to really pay attention. And when it hits $3, it's like, okay, we're getting into dangerous territory here. But that year we had $4 a gallon gas. I mean, people, including Old Monroe, people were saying, all right, do I go to lunch today or fill up my car? I mean, it's that bad. So average price of a gallon of gas, $3.18 a gallon. Let's see, what else do I have here on facts, figures, and history? First Labor Day parade was in New York City in 1882. People were pushing for fair working conditions. So the Labor Day parade was about making life better for the laborers. Back then, think about this. You always see these memes on Facebook and elsewhere. If you have Saturdays and Sundays off and get good vacations, thank a union. Back in 1882, when they had this first Labor Day parade, factory workers were putting in 60-hour weeks as a rule and making 75 cents a day. 75 cents a day, Bitsy.
And back then,
that's amazing. About 20.
And I'm sure back then, they probably thought that was a lot.
No, I don't think they did. I think that's why they went not on strike. That's why they had a big parade for it. They said, no, we can't. This is ridiculous. We can't do this. So 1882 was the first Labor Day parade. And, of course, labor unions began to grow and grow and grow, hit their height, 50s, I guess the 60s. And then the labor unions have begun to lose their sway a lot in more recent years. Although a new Gallup poll that I have in front of me here says that labor unions are more popular now than they have been since 1965. 68% of the people in the Gallup poll approve of unions, the highest since it was 71% in 1965. The low point was during the Great Recession. Their favorability was down at 48%, but now it's up to 68%, and that's the highest favorability for unions since 1965. This, of course, border to border, coast to coast, not really referencing West Virginia specifically or Ohio specifically. At one time, we were a bastion of laborers. We were a leader in the labor movement. Of course, for a variety of reasons, including legislatively, because Republicans don't like the power of the people, so they have legislated union power out as much as they possibly can. In West Virginia, the power of the unions has diminished. But I think it's growing back again in recent years. That's just my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. You can disagree with me on the text line if you want to at 304-214-1600. But I think the power of unions is growing back again. I think people are beginning to realize that the working men and women of this country need to band together and support each other more. Unions have been pushing for passage of what they call the PRO Act. We've talked about that several times on the show. Protecting the Right to Organize Act. It's a law that would make it easier for workers to collectively bargaining, including serious fines for companies that illegally bust unions. And the PRO Act, and this would not go over well in the West Virginia legislature because they actually added one a couple years ago. The PRO Act would outlaw right-to-work laws. Right-to-work laws basically say you can't, no requirement for unions. So that did pass the House, actually. It's stalled in the Senate right now. But anyway, it's interesting to me, this Labor Day, labor unions are more popular than they've been since 1965. All right, little Labor Day facts, figures, and fun for you here on the Watchdog Morning Show. It's 9:20 after the hour. Got a couple of state stories I want to get to. We'll do that in a minute. I want to talk about Ascend West Virginia. That's that idea of trying to attract people to come into our state, move to our state, pay them to move to our state, live here, work from here, but work for companies elsewhere. Apparently it's turning out to be quite successful in Morgantown. Give you some numbers on that. And so successful, they've had to sort of add like a bonus prize to it. We'll talk about that. Also, the new Washington poll is out. The first one came out yesterday. The first of the week's polls came out yesterday, showing support for Governor Justice in his pandemic actions. Today, Justice and Capito and Manchin are all in the poll, so we'll take a look at that coming up in a couple of minutes as well. It's 9, and the governor yesterday at the Washington Business Summit talked about unemployment insurance, and I want to get into that a bit too. So it's all coming up here on the Watchdog Morning Show. This is our final day before the long holiday weekend. Biff and I will have a day off on Monday. John Trout and Michael Castano will be here with the First Light America in the Morning Show on Monday while we are away. Hoppy will be here on Monday as well. But good live programming for you on Monday morning, good informative stuff. Stick around for that. But Biff and I get to sleep in. Biff, you said you can sleep in. I can't sleep in really on holidays. Can you sleep in?
Oh yeah, I mean, I know it too because I'm getting to the point where my body's feeling run down. I mean, I'll probably end up sleeping in Monday, maybe at least until 9, if not later.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Wow.
I mean, yeah, it'll happen.
I mean, I'm with you. My body runs down. I got an older body than you do, pal. My body runs down a lot anymore. But I still, there's just a mental alarm clock, I guess. You know, I've all my adult life, I've worked mornings. And so I've always gotten up, and my body's just used to it. Now, I can sleep in, don't get me wrong. I won't get up at the exact same time. But like on Monday, you know, I may not be up at 6, but I'll be up at 7, 7:30, maybe 8 at the latest. I can't sleep in for a long period of time. My body just says, no, get up and go. Now, oftentimes on holidays, Biffy, like on Monday, I might get up, you know, do a little puttering around, read something, check the newspaper, maybe have some sausage gravy and biscuits, and then take another nap. That's always a possibility. Anyway, 9:23, 23 after the hour here on the Friday edition of the Watchdog Morning Show, just before the Labor Day weekend.
Hi, it's Hoppy Kirchville. Join me weekdays at 10 o'clock for Talk.
They'll work on both sides of the river. For more information, call Plumbers and Steamfitters Local 83 at 304-233-4445.
Attorney Tom McIntyre.
Life. It may knock you down, but you don't have to stay that way. I'm Tom McIntyre. I'm a bankruptcy attorney, and I'm here to help you. Give us a call, and we'll send you a copy of my free book, When Bad Things Happen to Good People. It's an interesting read, and it'll explain bankruptcy to you like no other book does. Give us a call. We're here to help.
Call Thomas E. McIntyre and Associates at 304-232-8600. Allow us to help put you back on the road to financial success.
Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection. Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection.
The best in local talk is on your FM dial, 98.1 and 97.7. We are the Watchdog.
Live and local for the Ohio Valley, the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues.
In the past year, because of the pandemic, more and more people have begun to work from home. I work from home, and many of us, including me, have discovered this is a good way to do things. People like working from home. One of the other things that we all began to realize was that you can work from home anywhere, no matter where technically your office is. And so, your office could be in San Francisco, but you may want to be in New Orleans or what have you. So this has become a big trend, and a couple of states, including West Virginia, have begun to capitalize on it, and apparently it's working. We have a program in West Virginia called Ascend West Virginia. It was funded with a $25 million grant from Brad and Elise Smith. Brad Smith, the founder of and former chairman of Intuit, the big financial company. And they founded the program with WVU with a $25 million endowment last year. And then they put out the word that if you'd like to come and live in West Virginia but work somewhere else, remote working, we will pay you from this Ascend West Virginia Fund $12,000. You get $12,000 as a bonus. We'll also give you free outdoor activities. All of our whitewater rafting and other outdoor activities will be free. And then there's this other little perks like meetings with the governor and meetings with state leaders and special tours of places and so on. It intellectually made sense to me, but I was curious how it turned out. Well, believe it or not, it's turned out tremendously well. There have been 7,500 applications for this program from all around the world, as far away as Germany. I think 20-some different states have all been represented in the people who applied. And this week, the 53 people were selected to be the first class, if you will, of remote workers who are going to come here. As Brad Smith said on Hoppy Show yesterday, 53 incredibly talented West Virginian, bringing with them their families. So a total of 110 people moving into Morgantown. The first round is all in Morgantown. 11 have already made their housing decisions. 8 of that 11 have already purchased their homes. So apparently it's turning out pretty big. As I mentioned, $12,000 in cash. It works this way. The first year you get $10,000 in monthly installments. And then if you're there for the second year, you get a $2,000 single payment. So you get $12,000 total cash, a year of free outdoor activities, free working space. So if you work from home with your computers or whatever, there will be community space provided where you can go and do that. Continuing education through WVU. I guess it's a pretty good deal. Some of the people who have, a couple of folks that we had, but Hoppy had a chance to talk to yesterday. One, let's see, this is one man said he had worked in Chicago for 10 years, and then during the pandemic just said, you know what, I'm tired of working inside my 4 walls, I want to get outside. And he thought he would come to West Virginia, so he applied, and he has won. Already moved to Morgantown with the family dog and partner, and so now they're becoming West Virginians living in Morgantown. And I'm sorry, it was a woman. It was Quintina Mengian is the woman I'm talking about. Her boyfriend Matt Warden also moved here. Now, he's a West Virginia native who had moved to Florida, now coming back to his home state. So these are people who left, in one case left, in one case just came here to begin with. Pay them $12,000, to come here. Give them free stuff. But they're buying homes and they're staying here. So that's The program's turning out to be very successful. So successful that the state has partnered with the Rocket Mortgage Company to provide $2,500 in free closing costs to any of the other 7,500 applicants who want to move here. They're not going to get the 53 are going to get the $12,000 in cash and the free continuing education, the free outdoor activities, and so on. But if any of the other 7,500 who were not selected still want to move here, they'll get a $2,500 off on their mortgages if they come into the state. I don't know, Biffy, I wasn't sure about this, but it sounds like it may actually be working.
Yeah, it kind of does, doesn't it?
One of my thoughts was that people would just come here and sort of hang out for a while and go away, but they're moving in. They're literally actively buying property. Some already have purchased property, so they're kind of settling in. We have this population loss, the single worst population loss in the country. This may well be a way to bring people in. Now, here's the difficulty we have. Morgantown's fine. Morgantown's acceptable. What's the number one thing a remote worker needs, Biffy? If you're going to be able to work from home, what do you have to have?
Broadband.
There you go. What's the one thing we are tremendously deficient in this state?
Broadband. That's
exactly right. So this is a great idea, and I can see it catching on, and I would love to see us bring more young people into the state, because maybe it would change the politics of the state. Bring more young people in, people who enjoy the outdoors, who enjoy the tourism aspect of our state, who enjoy clean air and a good environment, and maybe they would bring a different political point of view. I think it's great, but it can't grow too big until we have a better broadband system. Again, Morgantown, okay, like here in our upper Ohio Valley, we've got pretty good broadband. It doesn't meet the high standards on technical scales that it could, but we've got good broadband. And Morgantown has good broadband. But you couldn't go to a lot of places in the state and work from home or work from those cities because there's no broadband. The next city that they're going to start working on is Lewisburg, down in the southern part of the state near the Virginia border. I have to assume they've got good broadband there too. I really don't know. Lewisburg is a really neat West Virginia town with a lot of restaurants, independent restaurants. They have a lot of music venues. It's a real West Virginia, culturally diverse kind of town. I hope they've got good broadband down there because that's the next place where they're going to start accepting applications.
Isn't that the hometown of the governor?
It is. You're right. Yeah. So of course it's got good broadband.
Right. I mean, that's probably why they picked that place. They said we better not take the governor off, so let's use his hometown.
And you're literally within 10. I've been there. 10 minutes of the Greenbrier too. So that's might be an advantage to some people. Something to do. But I wasn't sure how this was going to work, and at least so far, it looks to me like it's working pretty well. We've got 53 new West Virginians moving here, living here. They'll be paying taxes here. They'll be contributing to their community. My guess is these are going to be the kind of people who will be involved in community groups, volunteer organizations. Might want to be part of a symphony board or part of a cultural board or something. I mean, we might be bringing in new kind of people into the state, and if we can do that and build on it, God, more power to whoever had that. Well, not whoever had this idea. The idea was Brad Smith of Intuit. So but the key thing about all of these kind of programs, Biff, is people have to have some connection to the West Virginia to begin with. Brad Smith grew up here in West Virginia, went away, became tremendously successful, founded and became chairman of Intuit, huge company, and now he wants to get back to his home state. Why do we have Oric in Wheeling? Why is Oric? It's a great idea. Oric, people work from Wheeling all around the Oric offices, all around the world, in Tokyo and Hong Kong and San Francisco and New York. Why is it in Wheeling? Because Ralph Baxter grew up in the Northern Panhandle. And Ralph was the head of the company when they moved here. Now, we had to compete for it, but at least we were on the radar screen because Ralph had been from this area. So I've often said the way we want to do economic development, Biffy, is send a bunch of interns into every high school in the state, get old yearbooks, and start looking for people who have gone on to big careers. and then talk to them and say, wouldn't you guys like to come back? I think that's the way to do it. Anyway, it's turning out to be very successful. The details of Ascend version 1 were announced yesterday. Lewisburg now is where you're accepting applications. And then the third city is, I forget which one. It's one of the Eastern Panhandle cities, which again makes sense. The Eastern Panhandle is basically a suburb of
Probably Martinsburg.
It is Martinsburg. I'm pretty sure you're right. Thank you, Biff. I don't have that in front of me, but I think that's right. And being a suburb essentially of D.C., that's another good place to go.
Yeah,
it may work. It may work. I didn't realize it would, but I think it might.
Yeah, there's not too many big, cities over there in the Eastern Panhandle. But if it wasn't Martinsburg, it was probably the other M, which is Musselman. So.
And there are a lot of neat little cities over there too. I've been to a few of them. Ripley has got a neat little downtown. It's a little old, quaint downtown. Got a couple of neat little restaurants there I've been to. So there's some neat stuff over there. All right, I'm a little behind time. I won't get paid my bonus. I won't get paid my on-time bonus. 9:37:23 till the hour. Let's check some headlines from Metro News. Mr. DeFabio has sports for us. A couple more odds and ends I want to get to, including a tiny preview of the West Virginia poll for today. And then we'll see what Bob Westfall and the folks at TV7 are working on this Friday before the Labor Day weekend. We are the Watchdog Morning Show.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
West Virginia. The National Weather Service forecasting minor flooding on the Potomac River at Shepherdstown this morning. Flood stage there is at 15 feet. There's a flood warning in effect for late this morning. An annual Labor Day picnic in Marion County has been canceled. The county's AFL-CIO Central Labor Council making the announcement Thursday. Due to the spike in COVID cases, the picnic in Mannington typically draws anywhere from 600 to 1,200 people the Sunday before Labor Day. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence.
In Chicago, the Cubbies down the Pirates 6-5 in 11 innings. Pittsburgh's second baseman Wilmer Defoe mishandled a pop-up in the bottom of the 11th inning that allowed the Cubs to produce a walk-off win. Let's hear from Pirates skipper Derek Shelton.
Cannot drift to any balls in this ballpark with the way the wind plays, and obviously it's a frustrating loss because we battled our butts off the entire game, and he's got to get behind that baseball.
Colin Moran, early in the game, gave the Pirates an early lead. In the top of the first inning, he produced a 3-run home run.
Thought we battled back. That was a big takeaway. We fought it out pretty good tonight, so wash it off and take the positives and come back tomorrow, try to get a win.
The Bucks have dropped 5 of their last 6 games. College football, 4th-ranked Buckeyes of Ohio State beat the Minnesota Gophers in Minnesota 45-31. Freshman quarterback C.J. Stroud passed for 4 touchdowns. High school football, believe it or not, Brooke is now 2-0 after beating Indian Creek 28-13. I'm Bill DeFabio on sports, and we are the Watchdog.
Hey, man, what can I get you?
Yeah, can I have 2 Coors Lights?
You got it. Hey, Mike! I need 2 Coors Lights!
Sure thing. With a taste as cold as the Rockies, only Coors Light gives you refreshment every time. Here you go.
Thanks, Mike. Doing a great job. All right, 2 ice-cold Coors Lights.
That's the coldest beer I've ever had.
Hey, they don't call it the world's most refreshing beer for nothing.
Okay, be honest with me. Do you really have the Rocky Mountains in your beer cooler?
You don't believe it? Check it out.
Man, that's pretty amazing.
I know, right? I can't believe it myself sometimes. I mean, this cooler is only 3 feet wide.
Coors Light, the world's most refreshing.
Searching WTRF.
Over the years, you've brought opioids into your home. They helped when you were in pain, and you held on to them just in case. But holding on to opioids puts your family at risk. Learn more at www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
CA House Music has all the gear to make your music legendary. With all the best gear, including Fender, Epiphone, Yamaha, and more, CA House will have you rocking in no time. Get the most for your money with everyday low prices. And we meet or beat internet pricing. Play before you buy and let our product specialists help you pick out the instrument that's right for you. CA House Music, supporting local musicians since 1872. Play music for life.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog trusts. This guy knows so much about sports. They base the Sports Almanac from Back to the Future off of his dream journal. He's Bill DeFabio, weekdays noon to 2, on the Valley's only network dedicated to live and local talk radio, the Watchdog.
Watch out! He could climb on his soapbox at any time. The Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues.
Looking out at the road rushing under my wheel. Looking back at the years going by like so many summer fields. 65, I was 17 and running up on one. I don't know where I'm running now, I'm just running on.
61 degrees here at my home studios in the Elm Grove section of Wheeling. The fog is lifting. It's getting to be pretty clear. The Wheeling, Ohio County Airport is reporting 53. I can't help but think it might be higher than that, but that's what they're saying. 53 and clear skies there at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport as well. We're going to be talking to Bob Westfall from the Big 7 for a preview of what they're working on today. Coming up in about 5 minutes or so. Stick around for that. We'll see what they're going. An interesting story, though, on the website of Channel 7 this morning. I have not seen today's COVID map in West Virginia. I think the last one I saw, it might have actually been 2 days ago. I think 53 of the 55 counties were either red or orange. Orange is the next to worst, right, Biff? Orange?
Yeah, it goes green, yellow, gold, orange, and then red.
Red. All right. So the last time I saw the map, it was 53 of 55 were either red or orange. I forget, 20-some were red and the others were orange. I can't remember. But anyway, a lot of them, no green at all. I have not seen today's map. I want to be clear about that in West Virginia. But I'm looking at the map in Ohio. Every single county in Ohio is now red. Every single Ohio county is now red under the CDC's color-coded system. Now, West Virginia uses its own modified system, but the CDC color-coded system has every single county in Ohio in the red. The Ohio Hospital Association says double-digit increases in COVID cases in every age group. I still keep hearing people say, the young kids aren't getting it. Yes, they are. The highest number of increases in COVID cases is among those under the age of 17.
And as of yesterday in West Virginia, Pleasants County and Pocahontas County are yellow, and Tucker County is gold. All the rest of the state is either orange or red.
I mean, it's just...
Now, that's as of yesterday, so...
Right. The last I had seen was 2 days ago, so that's good. Thank you for that. And this, I don't know if this information today, this story was just posted by the Big Seven earlier not earlier, just a few minutes ago. But I don't know if the numbers are based on today's or not. But anyway, either way, every county in Ohio is now red. Every single one. 100% of Ohio is now on the worst spread of infection. And West Virginia, we're close to that. Highest increase in Ohio, again, among those under the age of 17. 68% increase in hospital admissions in the 17 and under group. 68% of increase in hospital admissions. Because this is the other thing I hear. People say, well, kids are not getting it. And I go, yes, they are. I tell them that. They go, yeah, but it's not a big deal. Well, they're in the hospital. Under 17-year-old hospitalizations for COVID increased in Ohio 68%. This according to the Ohio Hospital Association. 1 out of every 5 cases in the ICU are COVID cases. 2 months ago, 60 days ago, 1 in 42 cases were COVID. Now, this is Ohio again. Now, 1 in 5 are COVID patients. And again, in West Virginia, we talked earlier, Jim Hoyer from the Interagency Task Force, or whatever they call him, whatever they call it now. Hoyer says that we have now hit a peak for ventilators. As we talked about yesterday, the ranking, if you will, you get COVID, you test positive for COVID, 1. You go to the hospital for COVID, 2. Get to the intensive care unit, 3. You go on a ventilator, 4, and there's only one more step to take, Biffy, and nobody wants to talk about that step.
No, that would be death.
That would be death. And we are now at the peak of use of ventilators. People are now on ventilators more than they have been during the entire pandemic in West Virginia. 80% about, I don't have the number in front of me, I apologize for that, I moved it someplace off my desk, but I believe it's about 80% of all of those hospital cases are unvaccinated, which is why hospitals are beginning to insist. WVU Medicine took the lead. Many others have followed suit. There was another statewide hospital that added on today. These hospitals are just simply beginning to insist on employees have to be vaccinated. The problem is getting too big, too great. And I know that a lot of employees of the hospital are raising a ruckus. I know we've got a petition drive out. I know there's a protest out. I know there have been some folks on statewide talk line saying mandates are a bad idea. And their argument is that because it could lead to a shortage of people, here's what I think is going to happen. I think there will be people who are going to stomp their feet and scream and yell and holler and say, I won't get the vaccine, I'll quit first, you're invading my liberties, blah, 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 blah. And I think about half of them, or 60% of them, will, when the time comes, when there are two lines there at the hospital, Biffy, vaccine, unemployment. I'm guessing some of the folks raising the ruckus will say, you know what, I guess I could get the vaccine. So I don't think it's going to be as big as people think. And the other thing is, I think the hospitals are prepared, probably, I have to assume, haven't talked to Doug Harrison about this, but I have to assume that they are preparing to hire more people. Staff up for folks who are willing to come and follow the procedures they have in mind, which is vaccination. We will never get out of where we are. Again, 100% of the counties in Ohio are red. Most of the counties are red or orange in West Virginia. We can't sustain this. It's as bad or worse than it was at the height of the pandemic. There's only one way out. And the sad thing is, it's an easy way out, and it's more vaccines. And if people are going to start raising ruckuses and so on, then the solution to it is just to mandate it. You want to work at this place, you're going to get the vaccine. Simple as that. So we'll see how it plays out. But I found that story interesting. That was from, it's on the website of WTRF TV. So you can check that out by going to WTRF.com and read that story and all the other news as well. Is Bob with us yet by any chance?
Yes, he is.
Mr. Westfall has arrived. Good morning, Bob. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you, Howard?
I was looking at this story on your website, just popped up a little bit ago. Every county in Ohio is now red, according to the CDC in Ohio.
Yes, it is. Every county in Ohio has the maximum, cases. So DK is working on that, localizing it here within the Belmont County area. I mean, I don't know what to say. It pretty much speaks for itself. I mean, it is the color code system is what it is. I think this is the highest rate we've seen since last winter.
And they're based on numbers. I mean, it's not somebody making stuff up. They're based on numbers. So that's Ohio. West Virginia, we're not all in the red, but huge percentage of West Virginia counties are in the red as well.
Right.
3 new deaths in Marshall County yesterday, including a 46-year-old. So for folks who think it's only, old people like me who are passing away from COVID, nope, that's a 46-year-old. So
right.
Tough stuff. Anyways, I'm sure you guys are working on all of that and following up on some of that stuff.
Right. Yeah, we're following that across the county. Jim Justice will be on, I think at 11 now. He pushed it back. So we'll have an update on what he has to say as well. I know several doctors across the state, several politicians have been pushing for at least a mask mandate. He is kind of held off on that. So as it continues to grow, we'll have to see what the governor has to say today. We just discussed in our morning meeting how Governor DeWine in Ohio, his hands have been kind of tied by the legislature. So he can't, doesn't have the ability to do what he did a year ago with the mask mandates and such. So we'll see what happens in Ohio as well. So we're not alone. Every state in the region is trending up.
Absolutely. And it's not, to me, it's very scary.
Yeah. So
it's really very scary, Bob, because there's an easy out. Just people get vaccinated and we'll be okay.
We've covered that story as well. We've taken a look at that. I know we've talked to several people across all spectrums, and they feel the same way that you do, that the vaccine would be the best way to get back to normal. So it's kind of trying to convince more of the hardcore individuals what's happening out there in the real world.
Yep. All right, what else are you working on today?
All right, a couple other things we're working on is Pittsburgh Dads teamed up with Bordas and Bordas.
Yeah, saw that.
Yep, so we're going to talk to Jamie today. We're going to put something together on that. I think that's kind of cool. I don't want to say this on radio. I'm not a Steelers fan.
Whoa! Oh!
But I love the Pittsburgh Dad. I think he's hilarious.
Okay. All right.
I mean, he honestly reminds me of my dad. With some of the things my father would say, so it kind of works out well. So we're going to talk to Jamie about that today, how excited they are. So we'll have that. A couple other things. What are we working on? Fort Henry Days kicks off tomorrow, so we're excited about that. We're going to go.
I forgot about that. That's right.
Yeah, it's
And isn't this not to redirect you, but isn't this weekend Music Under the Stars too, right?
It is Sunday, which we will have live on our My Ohio Valley web and Facebook. We'll be live streaming that.
It's going to be an Elton John tribute, I think, right?
Yes, I feel like a dummy because the ventriloquist Brenda Danehart is standing here right now.
Well, Howard, I cannot because Bob said a hateful thing on the radio, and I wish it wasn't live. We could strike it. He said he wasn't a Steelers fan, and there is no sense in saying anything silly like that ever.
That's like as I sit here at my desk with my Seattle Seahawks jersey on. So
You said that, and Brenda came running right out of her office for you.
I did. It was awful. It made me sick to my stomach, but
you
it's all right.
You ought to see some of the discussions, but don't even get me started on Ben Roethlisberger.
Ben's my buddy.
Bob, just a little reminder, she's the boss.
He doesn't care.
I do care a little.
Brenda, you're getting the same kind of treat from him that I get now. It's just,
Did you check your tweet? I tweeted out about you a little bit ago.
I didn't see the tweets today. I haven't checked that. No.
Well, I've been good to you all week. I haven't said anything.
Wait a minute, you had Frankenstein's monster yesterday.
I love Frankenstein. That had nothing to do with you. and it was Frank Quinn. It wasn't Frankenstein. It was Herman Munster.
On his typewriter. Oh, I get Snoopy in the Happy Dance today. I see. All right.
That's because it's Friday, Howard.
And what do I say in the tweet?
You do call me legendary.
Okay, there you go.
All right. Okay. All right.
That just means you're old.
Gee, Merry Christmas.
Oh, my goodness.
And this is the way I've got to wrap up my week and go into a long holiday weekend, being treated like this.
I'm on
That's all right.
next week, so good luck.
Yeah, I'll be treated this way all weekend by my wife anyway. So, doesn't make any difference. Anything else, real quick, that we need to know that you're working on today?
Real quick, Miklas and Sigenfelders has teamed up to fight childhood cancer. We're going to talk to them about that this afternoon. Of course, we've all been following that story for years, and we're just excited about how they've grown into the community. So we're going to have that. Of course, we'll be live at the John Marshall Weir game tonight. Scott Reed will be at that. And so we're a little bit everywhere. Great weather for the weekend, so we're excited about that as well.
And if you want to follow the weather, download the Storm Tracker 7 app, follow the news, download the WTRF TV 7, their new news app, the updated news app, or just go to WTRF.com where you keep all the information going all weekend long. Bob, have yourself a good weekend. Have a good Labor Day. Even though you're snotty to me, I want to be kind to you.
Oh.
And have yourself a good weekend. Hey, I hope you eat a lot of hot dogs, Bob.
You know what?
We're off on Monday. We'll talk to you. You're off next week? Are you off next week? Seriously?
I'm off next week.
All right. Well, we'll talk to you in a couple of weeks. Have a good time. I got to go. Talk to you later. Bye. Have a lot of hot dogs. Lots of them.
I'm playing with it.
I got to go. Biffy, see you on Tuesday. You back with me then?
Back Tuesday, ready to start another week.
All right. We'll keep on doing it until we get it right.
That could be a long time.
Indeed.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
The governor and local.
All right, Biffy. I thought Teddy was going to be doing some other stuff today, but I guess he's sick, so he's coming down early today. He's going to be here, not school. So I guess it'll be a play day for me. I'll be playing today. Yeah, I think just little sniffles or something. That's hopefully no big deal. As far as you know, everything else is going okay, right? Kayleen's on her way down. The power company says it's fixed. She's going to go. That's not a problem, right? Okay. I got a text at 9:40. AEP said they fixed it, so I'm going down to look at it. So we'll find out here next 10 minutes or so, probably. Here's what I worry the most is that AEP did fix it, and it still won't come on. That's what worries me the most, because then it becomes our problem. I can live with a power outage, you know. And when it comes back on, but if there's a problem that is, anyways, we should know here within the next 20 minutes or so. Okay, sounds good. I'll be around all day. I'll be around all weekend if you need me for anything. Hopefully all the stuff will work the way it's supposed to. Sounded like you guys got the stream feed figured out yesterday. Are you going to be running it? Yeah, okay. So you know what you're doing then, because you've already tested it and played with it, right? So what are you doing? So you have to kill the audio input during commercial breaks or something? What's the story? Right, exactly. I thought that too after I started thinking about it, yeah. Correct. Right. The phone. Yeah, just put Simeon in program and nothing else. Correct. Right, that makes sense. And then you can take yourself out of your mic out of utility when you're talking to them and not wanting to go over the air. So, yep. Okay. Sounds like you guys got it figured out. That's good. It's hard for me. I was sitting here, I was listening to the stream when you guys are working on it. It's hard to sit here and think it through. I just don't have that kind of brain, you know. I need to be looking at the board and looking at what we're doing. So I'm glad you guys got it figured out. Okay. Well, if there's any problems, anything I can do to help you, give me a call. Otherwise, I'll just talk to you on Tuesday, and you have a nice day on Monday. All right. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. All right. Bye.
With Charmin. I'm Derek Dennis, ABC News.
Hi, this is Hoppy Kercheval. Join me weekdays at 10:06, right after the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe for Statewide Talk Line. I'll have guests, conversations, texts, phone calls, and all the big stories affecting West Virginia. So tune in weekdays right here on FM 98.1 and FM 97.7, The Watchdog.
Hello, everyone. From The Watchdog, I'm the storm tracker, Darnell Foster, with a look at your local weather forecast for your Friday. Partly sunny skies, a daytime high of 76 degrees, back to about 53 for the overnight. Under partly cloudy skies, clouds and sunshine for your Saturday, with highs in the low to mid-70s. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From The Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
Sports Map Radio is on all night long. Tune in to get up to the minute sports coverage on FM 98.1, AM 1600. We are the Watchdog. The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
Good morning. Welcome to Talk Line on the Metro News Radio Network.
Do not attempt to change the station. You are surrounded. We interrupt this program to bring you an emergency news bulletin. Repeat, this is an emergency bulletin. Keep your radio turned on.
Holy smoke.
From the studios of the West Virginia Radio Corporation and the Metro News Radio Network, the voice of West Virginia, comes the most powerful radio show in West Virginia. This is Metro News Talk Line with Hoppy Kercheval.
Check set lineup link. Activated Telos telephone. Switch network control from Charleston to Morgantown.
Stand by. Q Hoppy. You're on.
Metro News Talk Line with Hoppy Kercheval is brought to you by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Good morning. Welcome to Talk Line on Metro News all across the great state. Taylor Kennedy handling the video stream. The phone number is 1-800-765-8255, 1-800-765-TALK. This just in, as we say in the newsroom, the WVU Faculty Assembly has approved a resolution that supports mandatory COVID-19 vaccinations for all students and employees by January 1, 2022, with limited legally mandated exceptions. This is the Faculty Assembly, and they met earlier this week. They took a vote, and the vote outcome was, I have it here, was 1,094 yes, 185 no. 1,094 yes, 185 no. So the resolution will be forwarded to the WVU administration. This is simply a resolution and a suggestion. The final say on whether or not WVU will have mandatory vaccinations for faculty and staff is up to the administration, but the recommendation of the Faculty Assembly is for mandatory vaccination for faculty and students alike. Note, WVU President E. Gordon Gee has already said that he opposes mandatory vaccinations. He wants people to get vaccinated, faculty, staff, students, but to this point, he's been opposed to mandatory vaccinations. I think his phrase was that he wanted mandatory common sense. More on that at our website, wvmetronews.com soon. It just got posted. And on our flagship, WAJR in Morgantown, and on Metro News. Now, let's go to the latest edition of the Metro News West Virginia poll. Brad McElhinney's posted that today. And this gets into what you think about many of the political leaders